My sister, she attends university, Auckland University to be exact, city campus. She had an early exam the next morning, and just like every other student who sat that very exam, she studied that night. Therefore, she had a late night. Not hearing her alarm the next morning, she overslept. She knew the fastest way to get to university to make her paper, or to make her exam, was by train. Even though train was the fastest source of transport on land, she still missed her exam due to the train was undergoing maintenance that morning. Therefore, they were running behind schedule. Now, let me introduce the idea of the magnetic levitation trains. You may have heard of this concept, whether it was a random topic a physics teacher brought up, maybe you've been to Shanghai, or maybe you have access to something we call the internet. I'm going to be addressing the science challenge of building better homes and towns and cities. Okay. The magnetic levitation train is a method of transport that uses magnetic levitation to move the train along the tracks without actually making contact with the track. This is done by using electromagnets, and this creates both levitation and propulsion. At this point in time, we use electric trains. Electric trains, now let me tell you about electric trains. Electric trains have two main components to it: catenary and pantograph. Together, they transmit electricity to power the motor for the electric train. In basic words, the catenary is the wires on top of the train that produce electricity needed for the train, and the electricity is given off by substations nearby. Whereas the pantograph is a device located on top of the train, which conducts the electricity when it comes in contact with the catenary, which is able to power the train. Whereas magnetic levitation trains also have two concepts: levitation and propulsion. Levitation is caused by the electromagnets that are located below the train and on the train tracks. These electromagnets must be like poles, for example, north and north or south and south, so they may repel one another, causing the uplift of the train, and also known as levitation. The electromagnets on the train are used as they are more safe and more powerful than an ordinary magnet, and the electromagnets are made out of superconducting materials. There are also electromagnets on the sides of the train and beside the train. They must both attract and repel the electromagnets on the train so that they may cause it to move forward. As you can see, south and south will repel one another, and the south on the train will be attracted to the north out beside the train, causing movement. To allow the train to travel forward, an electrical current must be applied to the electromagnets on the sides of the train, thus causing a magnetic field that both attracts and repels the train on the magnets on the train. Auckland has currently just changed to electric trains. The purposes they had in mind were that the electric trains will boost the capacity that the train holds, will also increase the use of rail networks, and also increase the number of customer service. Now let me tell you why the magnetic levitation train has these purposes and so much more. Economically, the magnetic levitation train will save us a lot of money due to maintenance, as I have told you that the magnetic levitation train does not make contact with the tracks, thus causing no friction between the train and the track. Hence, we can save so much money on maintenance towards the train. Did you know that thousands of dollars were spent on the train maintenance alone, seasonally? Just imagine how much money we could save yearly. Another benefit to the magnetic levitation train is that it can move at high speeds. As you know that there's no friction between the train and the tracks, causing them to move at relatively fast speeds. Just imagine sliding down a slide. The friction between your skin and the slide will cause you to slide slowly, would it not? But imagine if I smeared butter all over the slide, you would slide down relatively fast, wouldn't you? The speeds that the magnetic train has reached up to 500 kilometers per hour, which is almost as fast as an airplane, being 800 kilometers per hour. But bear in mind, 500 kilometers per hour isn't the fastest the magnetic levitation train can travel, as we have not tried to exceed this limit. By moving at high speeds, the magnetic levitation train will cause more frequent services, resulting in an increased use of railway networks, which was one of the purposes of the electric train. In Shanghai, it will also reduce the sitting traffic. In Shanghai, the sitting traffic has been reduced by up to 20%. Auckland has a really bad percentage of sitting traffic. By switching to magnetic levitation trains, we reduce this incredibly. Okay. If we want to pursue Sir Paul Callaghan's vision of becoming the best country in the world, we must keep up with the rest of the world. So let's start with transport. Let's change to magnetic levitation trains and head towards remaining the best country in the world. Thank you.